Hi, how you doing? Good day. Welcome to newspaper. Welcome to our newspaper review on Niger Watch. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my Niger Watch family across the globe. How is your day going? It's a beautiful Thursday. Yes, the beautiful Thursday, and I welcome you to our newspaper review today. Thank you for being on here. Hello to each and every one of you on the comment section. How are you doing, Osagbo? Thank you for being on here. Good morning to you. How are you doing? All right. Good morning to you, Mommy Diaspora. How are you doing? I'm doing all right. It's a beautiful day, and I'm glad to be here. I hope you know we're having the chat today by 1 p.m. Do well to join me by 1 p.m. today for the chat. Yes, please do well to join me. Do well to like this broadcast as we go. Yes, please like this broadcast. Do not forget, take out time to share, take out time to invite someone on to the broadcast. Yes, please. And let's do this together. Say something to me on the comment section. How is your day going? I hope it's going just fine. So, what is your reaction to the new naira? For as many that have seen it, I would like to catch your reaction to that. Are you excited or is it a falling of the hand? Come on into the comment section. Let me know how you feel about it. So, my amazing panelists, good day to you. How are you doing? It's going to be a lovely day. Please, before you click on the broadcast, do well to like the broadcast. Please do well to like the broadcast and also do well to support us. Now, this is everybody. Do well to support us by clicking on the dollar sign to the right on the comment section. All right, thank you very much. Let's get down to the business of the day. Good morning to you, Sagi Daddy. How are you doing? It's good to have you on this broadcast. Thank you for being on here. All right, our first paper for today is going to be the Daily Trust. On Daily Trust, we have Ohaneze, Northern Elders Forum seek renegotiation of Nigeria's unity. Fuel scarcity spreads in Lagos as ex-depot price hits 205 naira. EFCC, ICPC, others to monitor campaign spending, and that's by INEC chair. 2023 budget, Finance Ministry on the spot over 424 billion naira padding. You guys, hey, this is one hot story. The finance minister, okay, let's say the finance ministry, right? Let's not point it to one person, but come on, this is a huge. This one, hey, this one wants to beat her. She wants to beat her elder sister in it. 420. This has to do with budget. Oh dear. We'll get to the story. Oh, Ross, how are you doing? Good morning to you. Thank you for being on this broadcast. Lawmakers decry in sessions. It is a ploy to divert taxpayers' funds, and that's from Rafsanjari. It's being investigated, and that's by Malami Ministry decries allegations. Oh, denies allegations. This one that has been caught already. She's still denying allegation. Taji owes 5 Zamfara residents after 10.5 million naira protection levy. So there is a place in Zamfara that they paid for protection levy. That is bandits supposed to protect them. This is bad. This is terrible. This is coming off like a movie going on in Nigeria. We don't understand how a certain place will be paying terrorists say protection level, and even with the protection 10.5 million that was paid for protection level, that they're still being kidnapped. Candidate flags of APC campaign in Kano assures of victory. Reps seek agency for Al-majiri out of school children. You see, we were talking about this yesterday. When I saw this news, I was, I don't know, I was boiling when I saw this news because this is not fair. This is not effective. Let's take this last one, then we'll move into the stories. As Buhari unveils new naira notes, 165 billion naira mopped up. CBN decries banks' low response, redesigned notes not targeted at anyone. The CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, as you know, initially they've been saying that this new naira is targeted at looters, at politicians, and the likes of them, and say that no, this is not for all of that. That ideally, that this is something that should be done 5 to 8 years, ideally, that we are way behind, and that it's going to help to cop up the monies outside and all of that. That's just CBN not coming out with their futures. If that is the only reason why we have to spend this much just to change the money in a time where we don't have, you are coming out to say because it is something that ideally should be done. Well, let's see if, and again, this seeing the new naira, Nigerians are asking, what really is the purpose of this new naira redesign? What is the real reason? Because as I see the new naira, and I see the reason where they been get to say, you guys did not even put in efforts. The expectations of Nigerians were shattered, seeing the money, and 165 billion naira has been surfaced. In line with this naira redesign. People that have money outside are still out there, bringing taking their money to the bank, and the bank. So CBN are saying it's a good move. The president is even proud that he jumped on the deal, and they say it's going to help us. Let's see how that help us, since they've taken interest rate to 16.5%. As you are unveiling the new naira, you are increasing interest rates. All right, and then the reps, you guys. So this is the story. Let me read this out. Please, 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 please pay attention, and let's read it together. This bill has passed the second reading. The House of Representatives on Wednesday passed for second reading a bill seeking to establish a national commission for Al-majiri education and out of school children. Question is, why is federal government setting up a commission just for Al-majiri? Why they not setting up commission for every Nigerian child out there? That is what I am saying. State should be the one providing all these ones. The one that federal government is using our money to go and feed some northern children. No, that is not the job of the federal government. That is state. If state does not see the need, or does not see out of school children, what is federal government going to do there? And why does it not travel across every other state? And now this has passed second reading. The bill, sponsored by Shehu Balabare Kakale and 18 others, is titled A Bill for an Act to Establish National Commission for Al-majiri Education and Out of School Children. Now, the people giving birth to this Al-majiri, are they different from the ones giving birth to the other ones in the west and in the south or in the east? Why should they be encouraging the northerners to keep burning children, and the federal government will be taking care of them, while people from other parts of the country will be burning and they are the ones taking care of their children? And these are still the same numbers, the same children that is being used to weaponize or to dictate the affairs of the country, and they would dare to bring this into federal level. This is very vexing. Well, I'm saying this has passed second reading. And we already know the favoritism that plays out when a northerner is involved. So it is a good time for us to speak out. What is good for them is good for every other person. Not oil has been discovered up north. Oh yes, we are happy. And now the president is coming and is warning that what's the mistake that happened in Niger Delta, they should not allow it to repeat itself. So you know that there was a mistake, or there's a mistake playing out. And what have you done, Mr. President? But now you are putting your feet out and saying they should make sure that that mistake does not happen in the north. We are still yet to be united from a constitution that allows the north to have a different law, a Sharia law, while operating under the constitutional law of Nigeria. And now we are going to have this as a northern, what do you mean at the Nigerian and out of school children? Should we not be encouraging parents to give birth to the number of children that they can have? Mr. Chuzo, since you are here with me, let's have this conversation. I shouldn't be the only one doing the talking. Good day to you, Mr. Chuzo. It's good to have you on this conversation. Please jump in on this. Do you understand this bill, or you want me to break it down even further? I think you were here yesterday. I don't know. Somebody even said they schooled in the north, and this has been happening before, like, for a very long time. Let's have your permission.
Um, Emma, good day, Emma. Just good day, everybody listening to us right now. You see, this thing you just mentioned here. Let me just start with interest rate and the naira design. Let me just start with them. I will come to Al-majiri. Um, Emma, you are in Nigeria, and you can see the difficulties Nigerians are facing. Nigeria is all about to enter a state of emergency. The way I'm looking at it, this money they spend on the redesigning, that could have used they could have used it to sort ASU strike uh, trouble they are in right now. They could have used that money to do a lot of things in Nigeria. You cannot use money to go and print another money. Meanwhile, our money is losing value every time. There are excuses. You are telling us that we are going to use it to flush some of the people who put their money on the ground, or money launderers. You want to flush them out. I don't see any sense on it, because if you want to get this criminal out of the way, you do what you do. You change the policy, and that policy must be Nigeria must be a cashless country. If you want to do that, you just make Nigeria a cashless country. Everybody must, when you get back today, you must you it's a mandatory that that child must have a bank account immediately he acquire his or her birth certificate. He must have a bank account. So that's to use this kind of money to invest in a modern technology that can transform Nigeria into a cash country to a cashless country, so that we can be able to monitor any all these kind of banditry activities, and all these money laundering activities, all these governors, presidents, all these politicians. We can monitor their affairs. So if we can do that, the cashless country, if we can be a cashless country, now you can see all this banditry, all this money laundering, all these governors stealing money. You will see all these things will reduce. But as far as keep on operating in a confusing cash country, tomorrow they will say let us change naira. The next day we will say let's change naira. Then the corruption and the corruption will keep on flourishing in Nigeria, because we don't have the way to manage Nigerians' affairs. So we will keep on confusing ourselves by speaking all kind of grammar, and confusing ourselves, rounding the same table, putting it round and round and round, and no solution. You know. So if we want to get rid of all this corruption, we must be a cashless country. So, and that is the only way we can be able to eradicate corruption. Then, when it comes to interest rate, Emma, let me just ask a question to you. You've been in Nigeria. I believe you're broadcasting in Nigeria. How many times have you went to bank, or somebody you know went to bank to secure a loan, car loan, house loan, any type of loan that the bank can be able to offer you? If bank can give you those loans, that is where you will know how the interest rate work. Who did the bank give loan? Which people that secure the loan? Where the loans are going? How do you manage the interest rate? The people who control interest rate is the citizen of the country, the investors in the country. Because if you buy a house on bond, you are an investor. If you buy a car on bond, you are an investor. And that is how the interest rate can be monitored. But if we are just people in Nigeria, majority of Nigeria, they don't have access to the bank. How the CBN are increasing interest rates? To who? Who is assessing this interest? Who is assessing all these bank loans? Meanwhile, bank keep on increasing interest rate. In whose expense? So these are where our interest, this our government are not giving us exactly the figure what we want to hear and what we want to know. Because if you are in a country where people are mortgaging, bank are financing houses, cars, all kind of finances, then the interest rate can be monitored and managed. Then you can see exactly what interest rate means. But they are coming here now telling us about interest rate. Who cares? Who knows about what is happening? People are buying their things on cash. Everything you buy in Nigeria, you buy it cash. So how interest rate is working? These are
So, Mr.
people.
Tutor, you think
Complete.
people don't patronize the bank to get loans from them?
You say what?
You think people don't patronize the banks to get loans from them? I know they've got quite the very high interest rate.
People who control who people the bank patronize are syndicates. Just watch it. Just do your research very well.
All
They are all
right.
syndicates. The people who are supposed to engineer the economy of Nigeria are those who left Nigeria to abroad. Those who are sitting in Nigeria without no work. Those who are doing
All right,
business
Mr.
without no
Tutor.
benefit. Those are
All
the
right,
people who
Mr.
are supposed
Tutor.
to
We
engineer
have to move
Nigerian
on.
economy.
Please wrap up your
Okay.
submission so we move on.
Okay, right. Let me go for an Al-majiri of an issue. Al-majiri issue, it have become is supposed to be a state issue, and the state supposed to manage the affairs of Al-majiri. You know, I keep on telling you here, we need a proper digitalized country so that we will know where all these alamajiris are coming from. I can come to Nigeria tomorrow, I become an alamajiri. Then how do you identify me? We need to digitalize Nigeria, know exactly where we are investing our money to, whether education. I'm not against alamajiri, but what type of education are they going to apply to them? Are they going to be useful, or are they going to be useless after all this while? You're educating them in Arabic. Arabic is not an international language. Arabic cannot secure a job in America. Arabic cannot secure a job even in Nigeria if you are just speaking Arabic. So I don't see the reason why we will engineer our people to be going to such a school that got no benefit to our human nature. You know. So if we want to educate them, we must properly educate them
All
properly
right.
so that they can be useful to the Nigerians. And
All right,
we
Mr.
must
Tutor.
we must identify we must identify people who are in Nigeria, whether you are an Amajiri or not. Those who are giving birth to these people,
All
who are
right,
they?
Mr.
Where are
Tutor,
they
much
coming from?
appreciated from you. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Let's move on
okay,
to
no
another
problem.
paper.
Thank you.
Yes, please. All right. We're going to move on to Tribune. Tribune, we have naira redesign, EFCC, ICPC to track huge bank withdrawals. CBN governor about 165 billion naira deposits hit banks' coffer. It says it will enhance monetary policy objectives, declares Buhari at unveiling. On 2023, INEC to mobilize national institutions responsible for tracking, combating illicit flow of funds. And just beneath the nameplate, Ekiti Assembly Speaker's impeachment reckless. Affair Olanipekun Falana, four other sons, says Adelugba cannot function as speaker. Woman stabs husband to death over sex. Night they reconciled after 3 months separation. Ogun Central Monarchs endorse Abiodun for second term. $1 billion looted funds recovered since 2015 to 2022. Senate probes concessioning of 700 megawatts Zugeru power plant. Okowa Emmanuel Diri Obaseki meeting Yenugwa reaffirm support for Atiku. I remain in PDP. I remain in APC but will support Atiku. Babache Lawa. APC disastrous years affect women more. Are you? Inaugurates PDP Women Campaign Council. Adebanjo leads Obidati campaign to Southwest. Insists on justice, fairness, and equity. One killed, palace burnt as angry residents protest installation of new Ikiru monarch. Edo government receives 2.1 billion naira refund for 13% derivation fund shortfall, says Wike playing politics. All right. Let's see what story we are starting with. Okay, so EFCC and ICPC to track huge bank withdrawal. CBN has come to say that two things will be happening. One will be there will be less amount of 500 and 1,000 naira bills. We'll have more of the 200, 100, and and the rest of it. And also, you can't just walk into the banking hall and withdraw more than 5 million naira. And before you can withdraw more than 5 million naira, that lots of forms to fill, lots of security check that will follow that up to the later, that they're trying to have a cashless economy, so they don't have monies out there, and that way you can track money and know what money is being used for. Let's see, all these are beautiful ideas, but let's see, the ideas are there, everything is there. It is the maintenance and the enforcement of these laws that there are usually lapses. All right, let's see what other story that we have here to take. Yeah, so a woman stabs husband to death. A woman and her husband has been away for 3 months, and people, how people beg and let them come back together. The night that they returned together, the husband moved to get intimate with his wife. She was not forthcoming. He got angry, took her phone from her, smashed her phone, and she got the knife and smashed the knife into his own body and took the very life out of him. All right, so that's that about this couple. And yes, so good news, people, good news. So it is hailed that in Buhari's regime, Buhari's led government since 2015 till 2022, $1 billion looted funds has been recovered, and a large part of that money went into poverty alleviation scheme. This is where I really, really want to ease right now, but for the sake of professionalism, I won't. Can you imagine? Nigeria as a whole did not even feel the effect of recovered loot. So of what use was it? Is poverty not still, even if they took the money to one state and say, okay, this one state, or even we should take this state, at least it will be better than that 20,000 naira that somebody will stay and be counting to ghost and giving to them. When they say bring out the people or release data of the people, you say for the sake of privacy, you cannot release their name. Can you imagine $1 billion? And they dare to state it as an achievement in this Buhari-led government. Money we will not see, money we not touch ground. $1 billion, yet we are out there borrowing up and down. All right. Let's see what other story we have here. Okay, let's take comments on here. Ozegbe first says, we live abroad, we see how things work here. Ours is different in Nigeria. Taylor can make Minister of Finance, Carpenter, EFCC chairman. Okay, still Ozegbe saying, I don't know who have ever benefited anything from so-called Nigeria. All I've benefited is nationality. Okay, all right. Let's stick to the papers then. Let's see what other story we have here. Okay, so one killed. This story, there's a twist to this story. So the police are said to have stormed the residence. This happened in Oyo State, and they just installed a new monarch, a king room. But the people do not accept. This is not someone that is accepted by the people. So the palace has been on lockdown. The new monarch has not been able to take his place, to take over the palace and all that. So to access the place, they sent military and policemen to go ahead. And now this was about how they treat the people in a barbaric way. You want to get, and you are forcefully. If the people does not accept, how then do you become the king of people that do not accept you? But it is said that the police forced their way and they were shooting sporadically. Of course, the people were not going to let go that soul, and they gave the police a good fight. In the process, the prince of the land was shot and he died on the spot. It was said that he was shot on the head. They said that it is by mistake, it was a misfire, and that angered the youth even more, and they set some houses in the palace ablaze, and that caught fire. The police in turn, they said they kept shooting. After they kept shooting because they were not willing to let go, and about 4 other people were also that have bullet injuries. Those ones are not dead, they're in the hospital. But the police called the fire service to come quench out the fire, but the people were not having it. They wanted everywhere to just burn down. They are said to have attacked the fire servicemen, and they also vandalized the truck. 2 of the officers are said to be at the hospital receiving treatment. Now the police force released a statement saying that there's been renovation going on at the place, that they were only there to secure and see that the renovation was going on peacefully, that the people came at them and they were shooting, and that's when they retaliated, and they even shot one of their officers, and 2 are receiving treatment, and they also fired The story just doesn't add up. That's the story. That's really the story. It really doesn't add up. At this point, we know the people to face. We know where the truth lies in this particular story. I just wish, our leaders can just be considerate, or even the people can be considerate enough to say that enough bloodshed on the land. Let's rebuild our land. Let's rebuild our land. So that's what happened over there. Yes, Adebanjo came out, and yesterday, okay, let's take the other story first, that says that some members of the National Working Committee of the Obidati Campaign Council did not have access to their aircraft. They said that powers that be did not allow them to board the aircraft, but that did not stop them, that they were able to find alternative. But they're speaking out, saying that this is not the first time that they are being stopped, or they're not being allowed to use a thing. Okay, like they're the aircrafts. That's not the first time. They also spoke about having issues with billboards or campaign materials being posted in some places. Now this happened at the Lagos airport yesterday, before what they wanted to go for the campaign that happened yesterday. And here during the campaign, Bade Banjo leads, endorses, and we know how outspoken he has been on the Obi mantra. Yes, and it was, oh dear, it was okay. I will leave that to you. I'm sure you saw the campaign, you saw the outpour, you saw the people, you saw the joy. I think that's like another thing that just, even the World Cup does not give Nigerians as much joy as beholding the presence of Peter Obi, and we just have to give it to we just have to give it to him. All right, it was a successful. If you want more on that, please pick up. If there's any story here you want more, please pick up a copy, and then just dig in already. We'll move on to another paper. Hello to each and every one of you, my amazing panelists. Thank you. Oh, okay, Mr. Kennedy, thank you. I don't know. I don't know why that is so, but thank you. Thank you for saying that. Okay, let's move on to another paper. Let's take the punch. All right, on the punch, we have here 16.5% interest rates. Private sector predicts factories shut down higher bad loans. CBN interest rate hike will increase manufacturers 5.5 trillion naira debt. Excuse me, let's move on to another paper. Excuse me. Let's take the Sun, and on the Sun here we have, on 2023, presidency, why I prefer Obi to Tinubu at Debanjo. Federal government, state, local governments share 736.782 billion naira in October. On redesign naira, 165 billion naira back in banks as Buhari unveils new notes. Cashless policy now fully enforced, says CBN. Atiku will soon meet G5 governors, says Okowa. South governors reaffirm support. Enugu government flays attack on farmers in Eha Amufo. Calls for immediate deployment of more security personnel. British envoy decries electoral violence, says world watching Nigeria. APC chair expresses doubt on INEC's capacity to transmit election results electronically. INEC raises fresh security alert over 2023 polls. All right, that's as much story. We've taken some of the stories on here. Atiku is still, Okowa is reaffirming us that Atiku will be making peace with the G5 governor soon, and that their South support is still very solid and is still standing. All right, and British envoy are declaring electoral violence, saying and reminding us and reminding everyone involved that the world is watching Nigeria as it is. All right, that's as much as we're taking on our newspaper review today. Thank you very much for being on here, Victor Smith. Thank you for being here, Mommy Diaspora, Ozigbe. Thank you to each and every one of you, James Morgan. I see you right there. All right, let's move on to our panelists. Mr. Kennedy, how are you doing? Good day to you, sir.
Good evening to you. It's nice to be here. And good evening to my co-panelists. I have one co-panelist here today, and good evening to viewers all over the world. Good evening to Mommy Diaspora. I don't know where she gets her strength from. She's always here. She's always in the evening broadcast. She's always everywhere. So special regards to you, Mommy Diaspora. Thank you very much. First of all, I learned that Obi's plane was stopped from flying to Ibadan by the Lagos airport. I don't know the authority. They said the authorities from above. So I don't understand the kind of politics they play in Africa. So why would the presidential candidate not be allowed to fly? What does that mean? What advantage has that got to give to APC or other parties? We should allow every presidential candidate to go about their campaigning in as far as they are doing the right thing. They are sending the messages we want to hear. So I don't see any reason why a particular government or ruling government should stop opposition party from flying to wherever they want to fly to. That aside, about the natural, is that natural commission for Al-majiri or and out of school children? So, like I've always said, I've always gone against the kind of politics these northern people play. It's a backward politics. Now, some people used to say they are good at politics, but for me, I think their mode of politics is very archaic. Is drawing us backward. I don't understand. Like my brother rightly said, how can who are the fathers of this Amajiri, and why is there no population control or birth control in the north? Why is it that the government of those states are not talking to their people to have lesser children? So why would somebody have too many children and now put the burden on the whole country? So there has to be the number of children that is supposed to be procured by every parent. And these are marginates, they are everywhere. So how are they going to take care of these marginates? They are in Edo State. You go to Mission Road in Edo State, you go to Sapler Road, they are everywhere. So how are they going to control these people? So what is the business of the whole country about this marginates? The state they come from, they have the state of birth, their state of origin, should be able to take care of their citizens. Why are they pushing it to the federal government? And the House of Representatives, it has gone through the second reading and probably is going to go through the third reading. Where are the lawmakers from the south and the west and the east? What are they, and the middle belt? What are they doing? So I don't quite understand the kind of politics these northern people are playing. Instead of there to sensitize their people about how to give birth to children, and is there no money that is invested in education in their states? Why are they not using this money to invest in these Amajiri schools and all that? I think Jonathan built a lot of Amajiri schools. When Buhari came, those Amajiri schools were closed. Why won't they revamp those Amajiri schools and take these children from the street and put them there? And these children are not even ready to go to school. Because they don't encourage them to go to school. They want to use them for illicit businesses and all that. That is why they put them on the street. And these are the children they register to come and vote in 2023. So how are they going to mop up these children from the street? Anyway, we are expecting a better government to come and take care of the whole situation. There's 205 naira per liter right now. 205 naira per liter. And if you have a car that gobs a lot of petrol, you probably have to buy 75 liters in your car. And that 75 liters is going to cost you 15,375 naira. So if you have to buy a full tank in
No,
two
Mr.
tanks,
Kennedy, no,
yes,
Mr. Kennedy, that's depot price. That's not pump price. So
okay,
right now,
depot
right now
price.
we are buying between 200, 210 to 250, depending on your location. So now there's been an increase at depot, so we should be expecting an increase, at the pump price also.
Even at that depot price, you buying full tank twice a month, you are paying 30,750 naira, and that is more than the average monthly wage of an average citizen. So, and you expect people not to be corrupt, you expect people not to steal, if your salary is just going to take you two times to buy fuel in your car. So that is even the pump price or the depot price. So if the price outside is about 250 per liter, that will probably go to 40,000 naira. That is way more than average average salary for the month. So what kind of country do we run? In a sane country, it's not supposed to be more than a full tank in a big car full tank. It's not supposed to be more than 1 day wage or a little more than a day. And if an average salary or minimum wage is 30,000, which means approximately it's about 1,000 naira per day. So in Nigeria context, it's not supposed to be 1,500 full tank. But look at the kind of country Buhari and the rest of them are running. So I don't even know if they understand the meaning of governance. You expect people not to steal, and the budget padding of I think that the Ministry of Finance, 424 billion naira, inserted into the budget. Only that ministry, only finance ministry. I know we have a lot of ministries in Nigeria. Only finance ministry having 424 inserted illicitly into the budget, and we said we are running a country. I'm not sure we are running a country. This is a cartel, and this needs to change. It has to change. It has to stop. So we pray the new government comes in. Let everybody should work assiduously to make sure we usher in a new government that will take us to the Eldorado. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kennedy. It's lovely to have you on this broadcast. Now, let me expatiate on the finance ministry on the spot for over 424 billion naira. So it is not a budget found in the Ministry of Finance. It is not from their budget. It is other people's budget. Like yesterday, we took the story of this ministry in charge of the poverty alleviation. There's a budget of 206 billion naira that she said she did not include, her ministry did not include, but for some reason a budget of 206 billion naira is found, and she couldn't defend it because she was also surprised to see that budget in there. Now other people who has like 10.6 billion, now all this other padding that I've been bringing up here in the papers, they finger the Ministry of Finance that it was not in their budget, that at the time they submit this budget to the Ministry of Finance, that it is at that point that these other budgets were being padded to theirs. That usually these things are not seen, that they are not scrutinized as much as it is going on right now. That this is how it is a norm, this is how it is done. That the problem why it is all out there is because there's this scrutiny and they are not going for it. And the reps are angry because they're saying that now is when they should be having some fiscal discipline, knowing the state that the country is in financially. There should be fiscal discipline, but they're surprised that some people will still be so greedy and selfish to still be padding budgets in tons of millions of billions, and everyone is pointing to the Ministry of Finance, but the ministry have come to deny allegations. So it's a case of, so who now put 206 budgets in your ministry? If you are saying you did not do it, the Ministry of Finance is saying you did not do it, the next person that they will ask, because at the end of the day the person that passed it to the house is the president. So at the point where he left their table, went to the Ministry of Defense and went to the president's table, it is either of these three people. So now, how do we fish out the truth? Because there's padding on all the budgets. In every ministry, there's padding in billions. How can 206 billion be padded into someone's budget and they don't even know? And the money will be released to you, and they will take this money out, and you still say you don't know. So at the end of the day, the reps are saying they're all in it together, that now they're only just exempting themselves because they've been caught. Now look at all of our lawmakers, and we are all borrowing outside, and they're stealing here. All right, we have Mr. Vine. Mr. Vine, how are you doing? Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you so much, Sister Emma. I just joined late. I had Uncle Kennedy. Good morning to my co-panelists and those that are watching us all over the world and in the comment section. I just heard Brother Kennedy talking about the Al-majiri and the. Can you just please, brief me a little on the issue at hand, ma'am?
Okay, so it has passed the second reading for them to have a national commission Now, federal government is supposed to see to their schooling, to Al-majiri schooling and out of school children. Now, my problem is, why does this not go out for every Nigerian child out there? Why are they encouraging people to be giving birth to children that they cannot take care of? And this is the same knot that will sit down and think they can decide the fate of the country. Why are some people, allowing this to happen? The people that are giving birth to this Al-majiri, it is not like they are children of parents that give birth to them and they are no more on earth, or how do they call these people? They are fine, they are all right, they can walk, they walk. They should not encourage people to be having much more children. The bills or the money that is being spent on education in the north is enough. We should have great results coming from them, not to take it to federal level. And even more alarming, why is the federal government getting involved in the state's business? That is the business for the states. So that's the reaction, sir.
Yeah, okay, Sister Emma, for some of us that have lived in that northern part of Nigeria will tell you that it is a culture that they have adopted. And you cannot change it. But where it pains me is that these children, Al-majiri, are children from the lower cadre. Tell me, since they said, Goodluck Jonathan tried to change it, Abacha also tried to change it. Obasanjo, when he came in 1999, also tried to change it. But they said it is their culture. It is a culture. How can you change that culture? Which made Goodluck Jonathan to begin to, see how he can just bring them out of that and modernize it so that they will be going to school and be taught properly. But these people are hell-bent on encouraging it. And this is where all the vices come from. Tell me, why have you seen before Muhammadu Buhari became the president, did you see any of his children participating in Al-majiri culture? Did you see any of their elites over there participating in Al-majiri culture? None. It is only those that they can manipulate. These are the ones they use the culture and religion to tell you this is what is right for you. That is how that place is. And if you try to remove that thing they believe is part of themselves, my brother, you will be having problem. Goodluck Jonathan did it. Did he appease them? No. Where are the schools now that Goodluck Jonathan built for them? Are they operational? So these are some of the things. They are using all these things just to, deceive the South. That is how I see it. Because I was there, no matter how you try to pull these people out, because when we go into the villages and these towns and see the inhumane condition these people live in, oh God, you would not like to send or even wish that their enemy's son or daughter goes into such thing. So this is what is going on in that particular place, and I do not know how they are going to change it. No matter the commission they set up, it will not change it. It is their culture.
Thank you very much for your submission, Mr. Vine. All right, please do also join us by 1 p.m. on the chat. You're going to have really limited time to talk. We'll be talking on these issues and much more on the chat. Today, we have Which Way Nigeria. We are catching reactions on the much-awaited naira redesign. Was it a disappointment or did it meet your expectations? Do you really see a need in the naira redesigning? I mean, let's have these conversations. And we have other things to talk about. Join me by 1 p.m. on today, 1 p.m. Turn on your notification bell. Joy Odoka, how you doing? It's good to have you on this broadcast. Bella Naomi, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed your vacation. All right, Brother Nice, how you doing? It's good to have you on this broadcast.
Yeah, good morning, Miss Emma. Nice to come back to your platform, to your broadcast again, and thanks for having me.
All right, I guess I have to move on to Mr. Chooks.
Hello?
Mr. Chooks, how you doing?
You can't hear me?
Nice is on. Nice, I can hear Nice.
Oh dear. Okay, Brother Nice, go on then. Apologies.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to say good morning to my panelists, people on the comment section, and those around the world watching. Miss Ima, how do you go about your this thing? Do you find a fuel to continue your broadcast? How do you do it?
Black markets. I had to buy black market.
Oh, la. I'm
Yeah.
very sorry. I know it's not easy with that fuel issue. I wish I am there now. I would have tried to help you out, for that
Oh,
struggle of that
brother,
petrol.
nice. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for asking. So thank you. All right, let's have you then.
Yeah, thanks. You see this Al-majiri issue. Uh, I have a first-hand experience with this Al-majiri. You see this Al-majiri, they are not Nigerians. These children are children abandoned in the neighboring country in Niger and Chad and Niamey. You see, when you see these people, these northern governors and northern politicians, they are bringing those Al-majiri children from the neighboring country to feed them with Nigerians' money because the government of this country, this Nigeria, or they abandon those kids. So because these northern elites believe that all Fulani, they are the same family, they went to those neighboring country to bring those children because Nigeria, they have money to take care of those kids in Nigeria. You understand? When I passed through that country, Niger, when I was in Niamey capital, I have a first-hand this contact with those Al-majiri children. They always tie plates on their neck. They will be begging food on the street. I went to a restaurant. I bought a food at the restaurant just close to the street. Those Al-majiri children, all of them just gathered me. They surround me. They were asking me to give them food. So I was about to tell the woman that served me food to give food to those Al-majiri so I will pay. I just took water. I want to wash my hand. As I just turned, before I look at my front, those Al-majiri just carried my food and started eating it. So I have to buy another food to eat. So those children, if you go to those neighboring countries, you will see them. There are very many on the street. Those Al-majiri kids. So the one that is Nigeria among those Al-majiri, I don't sure they are up to a million. You understand? Or let me say 500 if there are too many. The one that is in the north. Those ones that you see that they are using our money to take care of in that north there, they are from neighboring country. Abandoned kids in Niger and Chad. We don't have Al-majiri in Nigeria. The ones we had before, they were Fulani that used to stay on the street, beg on the street. All those ones that is they have a very clear this thing, skin, body, so they are almost like fair. Those are the Fulanis. That is the one we had before. They always come to Nigeria from neighboring country to beg for money. All those
Nice.
Al-majiri that appear from nowhere.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, sorry to interject. See, Al-majiri culture is a northern culture. You can see them all over the places, and they have what they call a malam that is taking care of as a teacher. A malams take care of them. They build an Al-majiri school for them to stay, where the imam himself, who is the teacher, or the malam who is a teacher, is taking care of them. And in their culture, it is the culture of that Al-majiri system to send them out to go and beg. And whatever they beg or out for in a day, they will send it back to the malam. So that is the culture that is there. But the problem is this: it's not just only people from the Niger Republic or Chad. You see, if you look at those that are coming from there, they call them Shua Arabs. These are the people that looks like fair people, white people. But our own people are it is prevalent in that place. Thank you, bro. It's not just the foreigner.
One, please.
Yeah, that is what I'm just trying to let you understand, that all these Al-majiri kids, the same thing that you just explained now, that is the way they use them to operate in that Niger and Chad as well. Those they are Fulani people, they are still using those kids to beg money. So that is the same style they are still using the north part of Nigeria. They use them to beg money. They bring them from neighboring country. You understand? So to eradicate that Al-majiri problem, we have to have a president that is not a northern president. That is the person that will eradicate that Al-majiri situation. If not, all these governors from the north and this Fulani president, they are still going to take care of these Al-majiri children with Nigerian resources. Thank you.
All right, brother, nice. Thank you. Thank you for your submission. Mr. Chooks. Mr. Chooks, good day to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Emma. Good morning, fellow panelists and everybody watching us around the world. You say, like, I think it's Mr. Maxwell, yeah. They have explained it. It is a cultural thing, you know. It is all over West Africa. I've watched, I think, either BBC, not BBC, I think Channel 4 documentary on that in the UK, you know, whereby they go to, I think, Mali and either Cote d'Ivoire to picture them, to video them and make this thing, whereby, like he explained, the Malams, you know, use them for commercial. They send them out, they go get the money, they take the money, feed them once in a day, you know, things like that. But the problem here is in the Nigerian circle is this. You're passing a law to accommodate such thing as a national this thing. I don't get that. You know, this is why we question our representatives. I'm not saying, you know, taking care of them is not good, but you should do it on a national scale. What do I mean by on a national scale? You can seclude them from Western education and go and give them Arabic education. These are people who are among the people that will make decisions that will affect Nigeria tomorrow. How are you going to do that? How are they going to be educated enough to know what is good for them and everybody around them or Nigerians in general? That is the problem I have with the introduction of the bill. Because instead of them to make a law that will pull every child out of the house to school, it's as simple as ABCD. You can. This is why we talk about Nigeria having two countries in one. Because see, you have to do things that will benefit everybody. Don't forget, look, when election is around the corner, are you going to say because they're not educated enough to make the right decision, they're not going to? This is my problem. You know, when we talk about this, they say, oh, we are solving problem. Yes, you are solving a problem. But would you create a bigger problem by solving a problem? Because, in fact, let me tell you, all the problem we'll be facing in this country is as a result of this Al-majiri of a thing. Because if these people are educated enough, they will make the right decision. If you're educated, you have a job. You're not going to vote in somebody who is going to come in and take away your job. That is the problem we are facing in Nigeria. It's a cultural thing. Just, even if you have one child, because you want that child to attend Arabic school, then you give that child away to a malam who will use them, exploit them, you know, send them away. They walk all around all day. You know, is that not abusive? So what are we talking? You see, we make laws because laws are sweet. But how do we control those laws? How do we enforce them? Because if you are doing, it's just like you know, you go on the street today. We have a law that says, hey, no child should be seen on the street hawking during school hours. Do anybody even attend to that? These are the things we are talking about. These are the things that is the problem of Nigeria. And these are the people who are ready and willing to make the right decision for the country. You know? So, it's a, Emma, please, please. Nigeria is in a damn mess. We are in a mess. We need. Hello? Because I can hear myself talking.
Okay, sorry. All right, Mr. Chooks, let's just move on to some other person. I'll just move on to some other person. All right, then, thank you. Yes, thank you. All right. Mr. Machiavelli, how are you doing? Good day to you, sir.
Thank you, Mrs. Ina. Good morning to everyone, and good morning to my co-panelists, and good morning to the concerned citizens. First of all, I have to give kudos to you guys all because you have all spoke well. Mr. Majid, Mr. Kennedy, great respect to you, sir, morning, and Mr. Vine Maxwell, all of you. I think you said the correct thing. I want to speak this thing. You see, we are in a democratic society. These are the people who said they are the foundation of democracy. People like Abdul Salami Abubakar, right? Now, listen to this. Nigerians, that is why when I tell you something, I will not come and tell you lies. I'll tell you the straightforward thing. The educational system in Nigeria has been on two grounds, right from day one. The way you go to university in the north is different from the way you go to the university in the south. That is very crystal clear. Has the Senate debated anything about it? Have they go into readings for it? Have they find a solution to it? But we live in a democratic society, whereby in the Constitution it says equality before the law, right? Is it equal? The answer is no. Now let me take your mind back to recent video that we showcase here on Niger Watch. Do you remember the man on the Senate who said he could not attend the rally because he was he was also trying to preach to his 28 children with 4 wives, right? They clapped for him in the National Assembly. Nigerians, open your eyes. Oh. Then we have another one who brought his 4 wives to the National Assembly. And he said, Miriam, stand up. Kadira, stand up. This one, stand up. And they were acknowledging them, clapping for them. These are people who are supposed to make your laws. But they tell us that it's a free and fair country. Is it? But your president went to boast at the United Nations that he was giving Nigeria a free and fair election. You're equally telling us that everything about you guys were all fallacies. This is why I continue to tell Nigerians that the people that you are supposed to hold responsible are the people in the National Assembly. They are busy talking about how an Al-majiri, how to treat the Al-majiri. Is it not the same place, this country? Before I left that country, there was a program called Poverty Alleviation Program. Ask me where it is now today. This is also for the Al-majiris. These are the people that they have put in there for their own benefits. Because what you don't know, the Northerners, they put these Al-majiris there to always use that during election. These are what they use for campaign. So if you eliminate that, they are gone. The likes of Atiku Abubakar, do you think they don't know what the Al-majiris are? Don't you think that the president know about it? Now this money that you want to, instead of you to channel it to ASU, that is why the other day I was very firm that ASU must hold their ground. We must tell each other the truth. Now monies are flowing. AG, Accountant General, the money he stole. Have you guys heard anything? Any court case again? This guy is just roaming about in Abuja there. Nothing.
So there's a news online that he returned $900,000.
Okay, voluntarily. Okay, he's returning it voluntarily. Are they not going to tell us how is the investigation going? He's returning it. Has he been to jail? He's sitting down in his own comfort zone, in his own house, eating comfortably, while Nigerians are swallowing in poverty. Now, another issue. You are actually trying to bring the Al-majiri issue now. The Senate they are debating it, right? Now, let us go to the people who has been affected by the flood. Have you heard that the Senate sits for this thing and say, we must find a solution to it? Let's bring money out. But Buhari told his minister to go and find out strategy in the next 3 months. So we are still waiting for 90 days. So the people are swallowing. They are just swimming in suffering. In fact, the poverty. My brothers and sisters, please let us think well. Nigeria is our own. Oh. Those people who want to still go and vote the other way around. The end shall tell. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Machiavelli. Thank you also to each and every one of you on here. Umana Pamela, how you doing? Michael, hi, how you doing? Lucky Iam, what's up? It's good to have you on this broadcast. Thank you for being on here. Bella Naomi, it's good to see you again. Udoka Joy, how are you doing? Thank you for being on here. Sam, please do also join me by 1 p.m. Nigerian time today. We'll be having the chat. Let's have this conversation. This is something that we should really be talking about. I mean, why do we not have, if we are breaking this down? Mr. Machiavelli just said something. The cutoff mark, jam cutoff mark is not the same thing. It is lower. When we say it's not the same thing, it is lower over there in the north. And education, it's cost almost free. It's cheaper than every other places in Nigeria. And this is, but when all of this happens, but these are the same people that hold strategic positions in our country, and we expect to have efficiency. That's why people cannot imagine how Nigerians that is blessed with best brains, yet in their own country, they cannot put together the best brains. If we begin to look at this, and the federal government are going to take this up, saying Al-majiri and out of school children, not every Nigerian child out of school. This is not, and they're going to be using our money to do this. No, haba. And now there are submissions that Al-majiri are children that are not of the country. What? They are not. So we are running such charity when ours have not even benefited from such scheme. Mr. Alex, please, I'm inviting you by 1 p.m. Nigeria time today. Join me on the chat, please. Thank you. Mr. Alex, how are you doing? Good to have you on the broadcast.
Yeah, good day, Ms. Iman. I greet my fellow panelists and viewers worldwide and those on the comment section. This is one of the major topics or the major issues we are going to be addressing after next year's election. Hopefully, Peter Obi emerges. There's no way we can have one country with this kind of hopelessness going on, with massive proliferation of children without plans, without childbirth control, and in the name of religion and stuff. So I love children, but the way they're going about it, Muammar Gaddafi one time suggested to Sani Abacha, why not divide this country into two so that the Muslims will live on their own and the Christians will live on their own as neighbors? Abacha tried, but at the time he changed his mind. So the point is, we are not one Nigeria. We will never be one Nigeria. But for now, let's concentrate on the democratic elections coming on. But have that at the back of your mind. We are not one. Because these people are human beings. They have their way of life. You can't judge them. They can decide to wake up one day and kill everybody in their side. Is their business. It's their religion. Their way of life is their way of life. Leave them to their life. They can decide to have one man can decide to have 500 children. It's their business. It's their problems. Divide this country and let this country go apart. Or carry out a total constitutional restructuring, total one, so that everybody will know how to behave. We cannot have a country where a section is behaving, supposedly like animals, another section is behaving like human beings. It's like mixing oil and water. It doesn't work. One side is pro-Western world, pro-progressive, pro-human rights, neighborliness. And another side is violent and dogmatic. They are, their own kind of Islam is to produce children without plans. Even their leaders don't even care about them. They don't have hospitals there. They give birth at home. They have a lot of children that they can't care for. And their leaders are busy taking their own kids abroad, and they don't want others to go to school. They use these children as a weapon for election rigging and so on and so forth. Census, census, figure manipulation. They count them like 10 times. They add animals to them. They add stones. It's not now we are just discovering that they are registering these children into the PVC machine because they notice that all their loopholes are beginning to be blocked by the new generation way of doing things, social media, electronic transmission of result, and so on. Nigeria and Nigerians in the south, in the west, in the east are teaming up together to cry for a better country for themselves. So they are having problems now because they are noticing that the status quo is going to turn against them. Everybody is now beginning to think, where do we go from here if Obi comes into power? Their usual way of, swallowing money. So some of the northern leaders, like somebody said, the way they behave, how can you bring 4 women to the National Assembly to tell the whole world? It was a national disgrace of this country to the whole world. Imagine the whole world will be mocking us. A secular country, they want to turn it to an Islamic country. So at some point, Nigeria will eventually break naturally. Then nobody will fight. It will just happen that we'll just call ourselves together and say, this is not working. This is not happening. Just like the way we are saying, we cannot continue to buy votes for 5,000 naira and continue to suffer. Nobody is telling our young, yes, Nigeria Watch and other people carry out a massive campaign since 2 years, but the youth also woke up to the consciousness that, man, we can't continue like this. This is bad. We cannot have a group of human beings who call themselves leaders, flaunting words, taking their children abroad, showcasing their cars in their garage to the whole world, while people are lamenting in suffering, in massive poverty. The same way, people are just going to wake up one day, which is pretty close. We cannot continue. We are not insulting them. We are not against them. We have to respect the way of life that they took from Usman Danfodio or whatever they are doing. We have to break it. And let me wrap up with this. This was the reason, because we must not forget history. This was the reason in 1967, Odumengo Ojukwu called a meeting that these people are different. They are from the Kanuri Kingdom. They don't believe in education. They don't believe in progressive. They just have to be on their own. That was what gave birth to the Biafran struggle, which was, supposed to be, but it never became, and war came, and till today people are still agitating. So Nigeria is going to break at some point. Have that somewhere as you are going to vote. Have that in your mind that with this Al-majiri system, we are not one, and we will never be one. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Alex. I mean, you spoke clearly. I mean, this should be a program for every child out there and not just specific. I mean, so you can tell the fears of people not wanting another northern president or having any northerner in such power. I mean, I think it's about time we eradicate such a place, saying that our educational system is not right. So how do we expect that our growth would be the same thing? Let's move on to Mr. Tunanja. Mr. Tunanja, good day to you. Welcome to the broadcast. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Emma, and good greetings to everyone on the panel, the chat, and the viewers. Some of the things I've heard appears to be, some of the things we keep going back over and over again. See, we break or we don't break, we are still going to have the same problem facing us. That is not going to be a solution at all. Countries are always different. The US, the Middle Belt, go and tell the Middle Belters how the New Yorkers and the Californian people live. They consider them evil people. In the UK, they have what they call the North and South divide. Every nation, every family, according to Peter Obi, I think what Peter Obi says is that there's people even agitating his own family. So there's agitation everywhere. Point is, where do you draw the line? You just have to decide that, you know what? People have problems, you just have to deal with them. And our problem is that we are stressed. Our nations are not being sustained the way most nations are, because all our hard work is not ours. We are basically serving other people. That's why we are feeling frustrated. That's why all the work we do, we are not seeing it. That is why we are complaining. And to deal with these problems, I've said this before, my solutions were based on security, based on transparency, and based on, if I'm going to even venture into the area of this thing, constitution, then the area I will venture into is the area of this thing for long-term stability of that country, because there is a trend going on in the country that indicates that some groups are traveling in different directions. Some of them are having more children than others, while others are having even less children now than before. And so that is going to lead to demographic change that could lead to instability if not accounted for. When we blame a northerner for bringing 2 wives or 4 wives or so to brag about how many children they have, if you want to go have children then, because in the end they are going to outnumber you. It's just that simple. For me, I don't care about whether you're Christian or Muslim. What I care about is our people doing well? Are you, because you are Muslim, putting Africa first or putting the Arab world first? Because what I've seen of most Muslims today and the Christians do it too. Christians and the southern people do it too. There's somebody that was calling today saying jackpot culture is good. It's like saying slavery is good. Go and serve other people. What is see? Point is, the Muslims that are practicing Islam now, what you tend to find is even North Africans, they consider themselves part of the Arab world now, like they belong in the Middle East, even if they are on the continent of Africa. And the same behavior cannot be said to be different in Nigeria, to where you see the northern Muslim, they behave as if their allegiance is to the Arab world, not to their fellow Africans here. So that is where the problem is. We are operating as if we are a slave race, serving other people. All our resources are going to other people. If we sort that problem out, it wouldn't matter what religion we believe in. The other day, I was asking somebody that knows something about the North. I asked him how many Northerners, Muslims, are using native charms. From what he said, from the area he knows, that many of them are. Many of them are using still traditional charms. That is contrary to what we like to think, that they are all this in Muslim and Mecca oriented. The question is, that aspect of them that is still African, are they putting it first? Are they putting their interests first, their own African interests first, instead of other people? Because religion is one thing that it belongs to God. Don't put it to any people. And what we see with the way we operate, we put it to a people. We put everything in the West, they put everything in the Middle East, and that needs to change. This is why we are stressed. This is why our country, we are not defended. We don't have security. We barely have any economy. Our children are running overseas. The ones that are running to the West are running. The ones that are running to Dubai are running. The other day, I saw a young lady crying because they deported her from Dubai. Dubai, that they are treating her like trash, and you are crying. You have a massive country where they are discovering oil everywhere, and you are crying that come on, man, we are the ones, we are our problems. We are not taking responsibility that we need to fix our country. They fix their countries. We should fix ours. No matter how hard it is, we need to do the work so that our children have a country to be proud of. Blaming each other is not going to get us anywhere. And I also, people like that think like me are also there in the North that understand this.
All right, Mr. Sunija, thank you for your submission. We have to move on to some other people. Please do also join me by 1 p.m. so we can talk on this extensively. I know that Mr. Sunija surely has packed something. Please, I won't. There'll be no room for submissions or reactions to that. But please join me by 1 p.m. We'll pick up from there. All right, thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman, let's have you give your submission in 1 minute, please. Welcome to the broadcast.
Emma, thank you very much for having me, and thank you, fellow panelists. I just came on because of this idea of if we divide, it's not going to change anything. It's going to change a lot. It's going to help. We are diverse as Africans. Why not make use of our diversity as in stay on our own and work together? This will bring strength. We'll teach the world. Look, America. America keep claiming they are diverse. But look at America. Look at the crime rate in America. What is bringing that crime? Because of that diversity. That's what. It's not about economy. Let's consider humanity first. But in our head, we keep thinking about production, economy. We want to grow our economy, but we are not thinking of the human aspect of it. But look at other nations. They are doing well. The smaller nations, the Sweden of this world, the Norway of this world, they are living together well. For the country like America that is diverse, look at the crime, shooting, killing everywhere. You will see a black community. They will tell white people will tell their children not to go to the black community. The black will tell their children not to go to the Hispanic community. This is what diversity cause hatred and killing. It's not a crime to say, okay, let's stay on our own and we can work together and stay on our own. This is the thing. We cannot look at Qatar now. Qatar is doing a work, but they give their own law that no, they will not accept gay in our country. The Western world are complaining, but they cannot go there and tell them what to do because this is their law. But in Nigeria now, they are practicing this thing. 2 laws in Nigeria. It can never work. It can never work. Let's forget all these things. It's not our leader. Our leader don't have anything to do with anything. It's the way we are structured. We can teach the world how to use this ethnic and diversity. Stay on our lane and work together. We'll be stronger. I don't know why inside the people will come say if we divide there will be problem. There will never be a problem. There will never be a problem. Please.
All right.
Thank you. That's my submission. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for your submission. Thank you.
Please,
also
can I say something, please?
Sorry?
Please, can I say something? It's me, Mr. Alex, please.
Please, when I
In
come
1
to
minute.
you, I'm taking another round, Mr. Alex. When I come to you, please. All right. To each and every one of you on the comment section, thank you very much for engaging. Please join me by 1 p.m. Let's continue with this conversation and other things happening in the country. Boluwaga Laditi, how you doing? Good to have you on this broadcast. Gracie Mafido, thank you for being on here. Daniel Alex, thank you very much. Thank you, Michael Okere. Thank you to each and every one of you. Bella Naomi, thank you. It's good to have you on this broadcast. Thank you to each and every one of you. Joy, thank you very much. Thank you, Mommy Diaspora. Thank you, each and every one of you, to my amazing panelists. A big, big thank you to each and every one of you. I expect each and every one of you by 1 p.m. today to catch reactions. Mr. Chibzo, we've come to the close of our newspaper review. Please give your final submission in 1 minute.
Okay, thank you once again. Emma, what want to just chip in on this Al-majiri issue, just we should go back and understand how these people are being brought in Nigeria, because I believe that most of those Al-majiris are not they are not Nigerians. These are people who just find their way inside Nigerian territory, and because of the way they have it told them that if you come to Nigeria, this is what is happening. That is how they end up in Nigeria. And our immigration is supposed to get active on working on foreigners in Nigeria, knowing how to process their papers, because this is what is causing unrest in Nigeria, because all this banditry, this kidnapping, all these things, because we don't have a proper identification, and that is why we are having all this kind of all this flashpoint coming around us here. So we need to do more to improve our nationality and make our system to work. If we don't do this thing will keep on happening. Our northern elites, they will use this advantage against the Nigerian people, and that is what will be happening in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Move on to Mr. Vine Maxwell. Your final submission, please.
Thank you so much, Sistema. When I hear people say Nigeria break, you still have the same problem. I don't believe in that. And those people are just being economical with the truth. I was in Yugoslavia. They were called Republic of Yugoslavia. I spent 2 years, 1 year, 6 months in Yugoslavia. Croatia is on their own right now. Kosovo is on their own. Bosnia Herzegovina is on their own. They are living peacefully. And what caused the problem in there was the same Muslim Christian issue from the Serbs and the Crimeans. The same Muslim issue, the same Islamic issue. Today they are peaceful. Look, if Nigeria failed to tell themselves the truth, that you are not one and I will never be one in that country, the earlier for you people in Nigeria, a lot is going to happen. A lot is going to happen. I just pray that what I am having from some of my former colleagues is not true. I just hope so. I just hope so. What should be praying now, the way things are going, is to have a Nigeria that can take you to that election. From what I am seeing and from what I'm hearing, that is what you should be praying right now, because a lot of things are going to happen in that country. It is better you go your separate ways than people imposing their religion and tradition on you. And if you don't agree, you are a dead man. Thank you. May God help you all.
All right, Mr. Vaimak. So, Mr. Tanaja, let's have your final submission, please.
I think we better be careful what we are wishing for. Some of all these people that talk hot and everything, they don't understand. They are not thinking about their children. They are not thinking about this in the next 10 years or 20 years. They are not thinking about the damage that they're going to do to us when they say these things. And we can't keep reacting like this. We have to be rational about our approach. Every single time you want to go in that direction, there is always a better solution in the other direction. I don't understand why all these people, just because you are stressed, means that you should just let the whole world burn. There are children that are being hurt. They don't want you grow up. They don't want to grow up in a country that is burning. There are women that are out there that are pregnant with children. You just want to say those things, but when they ask you to defend the land that you are now, you don't want to do it. That is what is needed. Your protection for your country, your land, your women and your children and your future is what is needed. Not crying about destroying the country. If anything, we want to be building. We don't want to be fighting each other anymore. This is no time to be fighting each other. It's a time to build. How can you not build? The whole world is building. They are going to the moon. They are going to Mars. You want to be wasting your time. Sooner or later, you'll find that whatever you're fighting about, you're not going to own it. In short, we don't even own it now. What are we talking about? We barely own anything. We're just on the land. We are basically tenants as we speak. If they want to reclaim it, they will reclaim it because we are busy fighting each other. That is all I've got to say. Anytime you want to go and worry about tearing the whole place up, consider that. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Goodman, let's have your submission, sir.
Thank you, Emma. Look, this is the problem. This is the problem with, I think, too, Naja, maybe it's from the Fulani extraction. Because when people talk of, well, let's sit down and divide this country, what they think, if they're back of their mind, they think of war. This is how the Fulani think. People are saying, let's come together, let's divide this country and move forward. They're talking of war. Who is talking about breaking the country? People are calling for referendum. That's how reasonable people think. Call for referendum. We're talking of war. When you talk of referendum, the Fulanis you want to bring war. Who will fight? You think if there's war in Nigeria today, do you think it's going to be like 1967 war? The Fulani, they will chase them out of Nigeria because everyone is tired of them. You're talking war. Who will fight who? Nigeria, if war comes in Nigeria, it's going to be a tribal war. It's not going to be like normal war. So don't talk about war. You're talking of how. We're talking a better life for our children. You're talking of war. Who is talking about war? When you talk of split the country, you want to bring war, you want to bring destruction. I will say we're going to bring bomb to blow Nigeria up, to divide Nigeria. We're talking like rational, educated people to come and sit down and how we're going to move forward, separate in peace. Everybody go in peace. They're talking of someone just give example of Yugoslavia now. Yugoslavia, did they fight war?
All right, Mr. That's all I'll be taking from you. Thank you very much. Mr. Alex, let's have your submission, please.
Yeah, thank you. We had Brexit. UK left the European Union without war. Sweden and Denmark separated without war. A lot of countries are leaving. Right now, Catalonia is agitating. They want to leave. So I don't know why people who are benefiting from this carelessness, from this wickedness going on in Nigeria, don't want a grassroots solution, diplomatic solution. Nigeria is too big in Africa to be governed by one place in Abuja. That's why you see the massive corruption. In fact, divide the country into 5, not even 2. 2 is too small. Gaddafi said it before. Let this country, because he is a neighbor. He knows, he has been there. He hears about the wars and the problems. He carried out his own research and he suggested it to some leaders. Divide these people, Muslims and Christians, develop them. What is wrong in that one? Must you talk about fighting? We are not animals. We grow up under this hardship. You want your children to also grow up under this hardship. Your own leaders are taking your children to UK, to Australia, to the best schools. They go to the best medical clinic. You don't address that. When people talk, you say they are crying for war and they are frustrated. Who told you if there is even war, we will not fight war? Didn't they come and during the answers? So please, if you are benefiting from it, people are not. Nigerians are not living, they are just existing. This is not a life. No electricity, no pipe water, no education, nothing. You're living like animals, and you expect us to allow our children grow up like this in peace. The country is already at war, okay? Economic war, security war, tribal war, segregation. Look at now, the most powerful four posts in the country is controlled by one side of the country. The president, the senate president, IG of police, Attorney General, they are all from one side. What do you say about that? And you expect the other side to be happy? Please, Mr. Tuneja, please, if you have your cronies down there looting money, leave us alone. We don't want those blood money. Please. I'm very sorry. Thank you. At some point, the country will see break because it's very bad. Things are very bad, very terrible. Kidnappings, killings. The law is not working. The law only works against the poor man who are kidnapping people. Why can't you arrest them and try them? No, that one you cannot talk. When you talk, somebody come here and tell us you are crying for war. What war? We need a referendum. We need a proper referendum or a restructuring, a true federal character. Not all this about the work, monkey, the chop. What's all this nonsense? Is this a country? Look at the massive, the way our doctors and lawyers and everybody may leave the country. You are telling me we should just continue like this. It can't continue like this. This is not a country. We are not one. Our laws are different.
Finally, it's not going to end it. That's the
All right.
problem.
All right.
Let me round up, man. Let me just round up, please.
That's enough. Mr. Alex, I've been calling out for your attention. You've not been answering to me. Mr. Bennett, how are you doing? It's good to have you on the broadcast. Let's hear you, please. All right. I don't know if you're saying anything, but I can hear you. So I'll be moving on. Mr. Bennett?
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear, sir. Good day to you, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, good morning. Yeah. For me, dividing the country is not going to be a solution, because I hear some people comparing Nigeria like America have a diverse culture. So Nigeria is is a diverse country, but our problem is our institution. You understand? So it is not all about the divide. You split. People go their way, Yoruba go their way, Hausa go their way. We're still going to come in. We're still going to fall in the same problem. You understand? All we need to do is just to elect better president and every region should take care of this.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett. Your network is not very clear. I tried to allow you, give you some time. I see you're joining me for the first time. Okay, do want to join me every other day, Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. Nigerian time for a newspaper review like this. We have the chat Mondays and Wednesdays by 1 p.m. But we have logistics-ish, yeah. So broadcast is almost being affected due to the full-ish over here. All right, thank you very much to each and every one of you. Do want to join our discussions Monday to Thursdays by 5 p.m. Nigerian time. The debates by 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Do want to join us. Each and every one of you, thank you for being on here. Do want to turn on your notification bell. Yes, we have seen the naira. What is your reaction to the new naira? Are you excited? What do you say to this? What's the old buzz, the old money invested in this? Is there, are you disappointed? I want to catch your reaction to this. And let's talk about the other things going on in our country. Thank you very much to each and every one of you. I've taken final submissions already. Mr. Tonita, Mr. Alex, Please do well to join me on the broadcast by 1 p.m. today. This topic will definitely be coming up. Will definitely be coming up. But to Nigeria, you don't seem to have answered. Was it fair? Was it fair for the government, for the federal government to be concentrating on, you didn't answer that, but do not even answer me right now. Please come by 1 p.m. And to every other person, join me on this broadcast by 1 p.m. Please, thank you very much. Thank you to my amazing panelists. Please take out time to support us on our broadcast. Never a time is supporting it as much as now. It costs a lot to run this broadcast now. It sure does cost a lot. So please do well to support us and encourage us, please. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you by 1 p.m. Nigeria time. Until then, bye-bye.